Welcome to your doom.
Just going on that, like one of the other books that I have lined up for the vacation read is a book called The Immortal Hulk. I don't know if you've heard about this at all,
Sounds
but
familiar.
it's written by Al Ewing, and apparently, from what I've read, it's kind of going back to the Hulk's traditional monster horror roots.
Good.
In my mind, the Hulk has always been a horror character, like straight, like he's basically a cross between like the Wolfman and the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing. And I've heard good things about this book, so I have it all lined up for consumption on vacation. I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've read like a Marvel regular series book, so I'm like just excited to get in there and just see what they've done with the character.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What did you think? What of the Hulk movies that have been out so far? I mean, not really counting, I would say, the Avengers or anything like that, but like. You liked the Ang Lee one, didn't you?
I did. I thought it was, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So, I saw it in the theater when it came out, and I liked it. It was weird. I didn't like all of it.
Yeah.
But man, like the rampage at the end, I thought was really well done. Where he just like he's in the desert and he's like fighting the army, like rips the top off the tank, starts jumping like across the desert, then he ends up in the city. Like, I thought that stuff was really, really effective. And I just think that Nick Nolte is at his most grisly in that movie. He's like, he's just gargling like rocks the whole time.
Yeah. I couldn't get on board with that. I tried rewatching it recently. It's just so long and slow and strangely paced.
Yeah, I've not tried. I just, yeah.
The climax is just weird.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was the thing that killed me too. Is like all of a sudden Nick Nolte's chewing on power lines and.
Yeah, I don't know what's that character's name again?
Absorbing Man.
Yeah, and the way it ends with the bomb, it just looks like if I remember correctly, it would just look like a giant bubble, and like it was weird. It was really that end I didn't like.
No, it was just it didn't feel rewarding.
But you know what? To be honestly, the only thing I really remember from the movie was Nick Nolte. And that rampage scene toward the end of the movie, where he's jumping between the canyon walls, and that attack helicopter is trying to shoot him. I thought that was all of that was really well done.
Yeah.
And then the Incredible Hulk, I don't remember anything from.
No. So I like that one. I think a lot more than anybody else does, because I think it ramps up the very unfortunate life that Bruce Banner has to like live in.
Yeah.
And it kind of has some of like it does kind of play with horror themes a little bit, especially like the very first Hulk out scene where it's basically you don't really see the Hulk. It's just guys getting mangled and like pulled into the darkness. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they do a good job with that. And then I mean, Edward Norton always puts in a pretty good performance in anything he does.
Yeah.
But the actual like the battle scene at the end was fucking awesome.
With the Abomination.
The Abomination's
I gotta watch the
character
movie
design.
again.
Yeah, I think, give it another shot.
I haven't. I saw it once.
Yeah.
And I did not watch it again. So maybe I should give it another shot.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like to me, that's probably one of my top 5 Marvel films.
Really?
I think. I don't know why I connect with it so well. I really like it.
Yeah.
I honestly
cool.
I don't know. But Ang Lee's like can't get on board with.
Yeah.
Just
yeah, it's weird.
Too artsy.
It's weird.
I like my Hulk.
They took a real chance with that one, to be honest. And I think that maybe that's what I respect about the movie is how weird it is. They got real fucking funky with that one.
Somebody needed to pull the reins in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Ang, you can't do that. Nobody wants to see the Hulk fight a bubble at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Ang, why did you have him chew on the power lines? I didn't tell him to do that.
Yeah, Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte just started chewing on the power lines.
You're like, I could use this.
Yeah, he's like, that's fine.
He wasn't listening to anyone. He was foaming at the mouth.
It's so good. He just literally picks up a power line. He goes, ah! He spits off like the rubber encasing, and then he starts biting the power line. That's my favorite shot.
Yeah.
So angry when he does it too. It's like Brian Cox from Super Troopers.
Oh yeah, with the
Give me the goddamn soap.
Shit. Yeah, I'll check out the Incredible Hulk again. Maybe I'll throw it up on the projector and like watch it again.
Yeah, not since Ruffalo's first portrayal of the Hulk have we had as good of a Hulk since. I think I liked him a lot in the first Avengers, but then it just kind of went off. I don't know. Actually, he was alright in Age of Ultron.
I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of He's just there. Like Ruffalo, I think that. I think Ruffalo's a very good actor. I think that it could have been played by anybody. Like, I don't think he's bringing anything particularly special to that character. I think that character's dilemma is so interesting.
Yeah.
You don't need someone who's going to like, I don't think you need an Ed Norton to play that role. Although when he's playing it, I think he's better.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't think Ruffalo is adding anything. You could have replaced him with anybody, and I would feel the same way.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that you could see in the very first Avengers, he was definitely more tortured by it. He didn't seem like he wanted it. He was trying to deal with it, and you're not really sure as an audience member how he's trying to deal with it. And, you're kind of seeing someone who seems somewhat tortured. He seems reluctant. He seems like he doesn't want to do anything because he's afraid of what might happen. And then you have that really gratifying moment where he just lets it all go.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to me, that's one of my favorite moments in any movie. I don't think I've ever felt so excited as I was when, he hulks out for the very first time.
Okay.
Intentionally.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
What's that?
When he says, "I'm always angry."
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that moment fell super flat. Like, when he says, "I'm always angry," and then chooses to turn into the Hulk, and I'm like, what? Okay. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Explain it to me.
Think of it this way, is that, like, this is the way I interpret it. And he basically is he's managed to be able to control his anger so well that he knows exactly where he has to be to keep himself in control. But because he's so comfortable with being angry, he never goes past the point. Like, he knows that exact threshold of anger that he hits that he hulks out on.
This is all really this all makes sense.
Yes.
The concept of coming to terms with your own anger and your own personality. Right?
Yeah. Pretty profound.
Not abolishing it, but accepting it as a part of you. Yeah. What puzzles me is that the entire, and I haven't seen the Avengers in a long time, but I'm pretty sure a large chunk of that movie was talking about how much of a loose cannon he is.
Yes.
Right? And he does he not destroy some shit in that movie, or was that in the second one? Was that Age of Ultron?
But both.
Okay, so he destroys some shit and can't control himself. But what is weird to me is that this just kind of suddenly happens. It's like between that whole time they're building him up as being this crazy wild card.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know," and then suddenly he's just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just fooling you.
Yeah.
I had this under control the whole time."
So
it doesn't make any fucking sense.
So I think he has the transformation under control. He's not in control. He's not in the driver's seat when the Hulk is out, right?
Well, I mean, he partially is. He takes an order from Captain America. He's like, "Hulk, smash." He's like, he smiles and he fucking bounces.
That's not Bruce Banner. That's the Hulk. That's what I mean, is that when the Hulk is off, when the Hulk is out there doing what he's doing, there's no more control by Bruce Banner. He's now in the Hulk's in the driver's seat and Bruce Banner's in the trunk. He's got no concept of what's going on. I mean, you see that in Ragnarok. When he comes out of it, Banner doesn't even know where he is. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, but that's in Ragnarok. That's like 4 movies later.
Yeah, but
also like that
changed.
Well, no, something's changed. He's been Hulk for there was something about him being Hulk for so long and not being allowed to transform back into Bruce Banner that for being Hulk that long, he's taken over most of his memories and like all the actions he's taken. He's buried Bruce Banner. There's a story point about like how the Hulk is like buried him.
But in in Avengers, when he touches down after rampaging on the helicarrier, he doesn't know what's happening. That's when oh my goodness, the actor that just passed fairly recently.
Not John Hurt, but Kitty from Alien.
Yeah. That's when he finds him. He doesn't know where he is or what happened. When
was
he's
that
in
in Avengers?
Yeah, it's in the first Avengers. He doesn't. I think that he's. That's why he doesn't want to be the Hulk, because he doesn't know if the Hulk gets triggered. He could do. He's liable to do anything. That's why in that moment he's like, well. He basically, I think, he just lets it out. He's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to throw the Hulk into a battle, and he's just going to have to play with these guys, and hopefully nothing bad happens.
Yeah, but there's at no point earlier in the movie did anything seem like the Hulk would ever take an order from anyone or ever do what anybody asked him to do. That's what I mean. Like, that moment in the movie made it seem like he is now in control because because he turns into the Hulk and he smashes that giant metal worm thing, right? And then he fights alongside the Avengers, where the rest of the movie he was a terror to the Avengers. That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like suddenly they just simply decided at the end, it's like, oh yeah, we need the Hulk to fight alongside the Avengers, but not build up anything in the movie that makes you think that he'd done something different. It's more like, I need this in the script, so we're just going to have this moment, and the Hulk is going to be kind of funny and kind of dangerous, but mostly just fighting on the side of good for no reason.
Right. The only thing that I could say to that, and this is just my own theories, is that I always kind of interpreted it as not so much a strict, like, hard cut, more of like a tag. You're like, yo, Hulk, you're going to need to punch this thing that's coming in real quick, and these guys are our friends, so try not to kill anybody. And at that point, that's the only control he has over the situation.
He was a complete and utter loose cannon for the other, like, 3/4 of the movie.
I agree.
So, like, even that much logic is like, it's alien. I'm just like, what? Why? You've spent the whole movie building up this loose cannon.
Yeah.
And now he's not that much of a loose cannon anymore, which is why when he's like, I'm always angry, and changes into the Hulk, something's changed there. It's not the Hulk hulking out. It's Bruce is kind of in there, like, you know, like adding that little bit of logic and that little bit of sympathy to make him operate.
Two things, though. The Hulk's reactionary, right? He's always going at, like, he doesn't want to be attacked, and the very first thing he does when he comes out is being attacked by a building-sized slug that can fly in the air. So he hits them, and then all of a sudden his allies are there to help him fight the rest of these things that are coming after him. He perceives the enemy as those guys, so you could theoretically say that's what he's.
But these guys are not allies. That's the thing. Like, they've never been established.
They're allies
as such.
by not being enemies, right? The friend of my friend is my own enemy. Those guys, the Avengers, are also going after these guys. They want those. The thing that he just punched in the face is also a threat. The second he punches it, Iron Man goes after it as well, blows it up with his rockets, and then the Hulk's looking around and he's got all of the aliens that are yelling at him, and he's triggered by them. And he doesn't really give him an order. He just says, hey, go crazy, right? Captain America just tells him to smash. And that's the exact thing that the Hulk wants to hear. He's got friends. And at that point, the Hulk has never had friends, really. He's only had Betty Ross.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. This all just doesn't hang together. It's like, it's too much. There's too much interpolation here. It was like, for a moment that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't have. It's missing giant pieces of like logic. Like, we love this scene, and it's not just you. A lot of people love that scene. I think it's a big moment, and it's supposed to be a big moment in the movie. But it's just like missing these giant, like, there's the leaps in logic there where I'm like, oh, they didn't really establish that.
The other thing too to note is that, and I mean, more so than I guess he usually would be, but he was being affected by the Mind Stone when he was at the helicarrier. On the helicarrier. That's something that they had that was Loki's point too.
Sure, yeah.
They didn't make it as
I haven't seen this movie in a long time. So
they didn't make it as prominent as they did in Age of Ultron, because in Age of Ultron, that's when Scarlet Witch did something to him, and you could see his eyes were all bloodshot, and crazy looking.
Yeah, that's not him. Yeah.
No, that's not him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To say that the Hulk just hulks out and destroys anything in his path has never really been his intention. I mean, they mention it in The Incredible Hulk. He says when he falls, goes and fights the thing. He's like, how do you think you can control it? He's like, I can't, but maybe we can just aim it.
Yeah.
So he's got, I guess he has a level of control to some degree, but not much outside of aiming it and just letting go.
Sure, yeah.
So that's kind of how I interpret it.
Sure.
And I'm usually right. So I'm going to go with that.